Ashley. Welcome to the Design by So-and-So podcast. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope that you can grab your craft and let's chat. This is a podcast where I talk about all things fiber arts, so mostly knitting, some sewing, spinning, things like that. This week's podcast is going to be focusing mostly on knitting, including a pattern release that's happening this week and a little bit of sewing. So I'm going to start off with the pattern release that's happening this week, just to let you all know. I always like to let my YouTube viewers know about my pattern releases and give you a special coupon code if you would like to knit the pattern yourself. So over the past few months, I've been working on a variety of Old Salt knitting patterns. It all started with the Old Salt socks. I'll put up pictures here or here, wherever they fit, but you can see what they're all about. So the Old Salt socks is a sock knitting pattern written in 4 sizes. It's written both toe up and cuff down, so you can choose the construction style that you prefer, and it has this adorable sardine fish color motif around the cuff. After I made that pattern, I knew that I wasn't done with that colorwork motif. It's just so fun to knit up. It's really cute to wear. So after that, I made the Old Salt mitts, which are little fingerless mitts with a lot of fun colorwork happening in them. It has corrugated rib, there's stranded colorwork that kind of leans towards Fair Isle style knitting. Like it just has that like traditional colorwork look to me. It's really fun to work on, and I wear these the most out of all of the Old Salt knits that I've made for myself, and these ones I get the most compliments on also. They're very eye-catching. So after that, then I made the Old Salt mittens, which is made out of DK weight. It's a lot more approachable if you're new to colorwork because the colorwork section is just the fish around the hand there. So yeah, it's not too overwhelming or daunting. And again, a super quick knit. It's DK weight yarn. This one was written in 4 different sizes. So I knew to kind of like complete my Old Salt family, a hat was needed. So that is my most recent pattern release. It's going to be available Saturday, February 21st, and I wanted to show you all about it. So here's the Old Salt hat. It still has the sardine colorwork motif on it, but it's a little busier. I've got the fish going in opposite directions. So you have half of them going down, half of them going up, and then a little bit of extra color work in there. The style of the hat, I wanted to go for 90s hockey hats, kind of like the 90s movies that I grew up watching, like Mighty Ducks, or even like Kevin McAllister on Home Alone, his big slouchy big hats with a big pom-pom. So that's what I was going for. The brim has these sporty stripes on it, so I feel like it's a nice nod to like sporty 90s hats. I'm so happy with how it came out. It's really cute. The fit is really great. So let's talk about it a little bit. So the yarn that I used was kindly sent to me by Farmer's Daughter Fibres. I've knit once before with their Recollect and Reminisce base and loved it. It's a sport weight base. I think it's Rambouillet. Let me just see here. Oh yeah, the card says it. It's American Rambouillet, 100% Montana and Wyoming Rambouillet. So it's just got this really nice like plumpness to it. It's really like bouncy and squishy, and for a hat it's nice and warm, but it's not like overly big or bulky. I really like it for a hat. The colors that I used in my sample are, I can never remember them, so I have the tags here. So the red is Flower Point. This gray main color is I've Got Dreams to Remember, and then the navy blue is Love Me Like You Used to. So again, the colors kind of have like this nostalgic 90s feel to them, a little bit like vintage LL Bean or vintage J. Crew. So that's what I was going for, is just like a little bit of a nostalgic feel and shape, but still modern and wearable today. So the pattern is written for 5 sizes, from child small medium, child large, adult small, adult medium, adult large. And the fit has been so good. That's always not like a concern, but something that I'm particularly interested in when I'm running the test knit is just to see how it actually looks on other bodies, on other sizes. So seeing my test knitters photos of their children wearing it, of them wearing their versions of the hat, it's just so nice to see like that it actually fits, it looks really good on them. So yeah, it makes me feel good as a designer. I have a little bit of like seasonal allergies going on, so I apologize if my voice is a little bit raspy. Anyways, back to the pattern. The pattern is available Saturday, February 21st. And for my YouTube followers, I have a special coupon code for you. So you can get the pattern for 20% off with the code OldSaltHatYT. And if you do make it, make sure that you tag me on Instagram so that I can see your version of the hat. So the pattern is knit brim up. So you actually knit with the stripes wrong side out so that when it's folded up, it looks all nice and neat. Then you get into color work for the rise and crown of the hat. And then there is optional pom-pom instructions in the pattern. Not everyone is a pom wearer. I liked it just with the look of this hat. I feel like it completes it, but some of my testers made it without poms. And I'll show you a picture of the crown decreases. It still looks really nice without a pom. It looks like nice and clean, and the color work decreases nicely too on the crown. So the pom isn't hiding anything. I include a link to a tutorial on how to make poms, but something that I found that's really handy when you attach a pom to your hat, it really helps to use some sort of button to give it like a base to sit on. If you just tie your pom-pom to the top of the hat, it can be really floppy because it's so big and then it's just tied by, you know, a small point there. So some people use an actual button. I made one out of foam. So this is just like thin foam. I punched 2 holes through it so that I was able to tie the strings from the pom-pom through it. And then, yeah, the pom-pom sits on this kind of like foundation or base so that it's not flopping around as much. So that's my tip for pom-poms that I learned from someone smarter than me. So now that my shameless self-promoting is out of the way, I'm going to share some other projects that I've been working on. I've got 2 knitting projects and 1 sewing project. The knitting project is here. This is the Prue cardigan. It's a pattern by Ailbiona McLochlainn, and I have been loving this like mindless stockinette knit. I've been craving like an easy, mindless, dopamine boosting project, and this is it. So I'll start with the yarn and then tell you about the pattern. I am using, this is Craft Me Not Yarn Co 100% merino. I think it's a one-of-a-kind colorway. I had 3 skeins of this fingering weight yarn, and I knew it would be enough for a small sweater for me. So I had this in stash, and then I also had this Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in stash. So this is the color Dusty Olive, and then this one-of-a-kind kind of tealy color. I hadn't thought to put these together, but this year I've been really trying to just knit from my stash. I'm trying not to buy new yarn. So it's been kind of nice to like look at what I own and just kind of see, well, what can work together. So I did some swatches and I loved how this turned out together. I think it's just such a pretty marled look. The olive colored mohair just like softens the teal, and it turned out really, really nicely. So about the pattern, I saw this on Ailbiona's Instagram a couple months ago, and it stood out to me. I just liked the old-fashioned style of it. Her inspiration comes from like 1940s sort of styles. So the collar and like the long ribbing on the sleeves, long ribbing on the body, it just has like a nod to 1940s, but also like very in now. I feel like collars are in, collars are having a moment. So I was able to get gauged with her recommended needle size. So I'm knitting this with 4mm needles. It's meant to be a DK weight yarn, DK weight gauge. And the pattern is started from the back. You knit until the underarm part, and then you pick up stitches and do the front sections. Then once you reach the underarm, you join together and you start knitting the entire body in the round. Then you can go back and knit the collar. It's 1x1 ribbing. So the ribbing just gives it this nice like firmness where it sits nicely, it stays where it's folded, and it lays nicely. No one wants a floppy collar. So yeah, super cute collar, set in sleeves, fits really, really nicely. This is only the second time that I've followed a pattern with a set in sleeve, and the fit on this one is so good. She intentionally made the shoulder fit quite small so that your set in sleeve sits right at your natural shoulder, which I think looks really nice. Like that's how it should fit. It should fit you like a glove at your shoulder. And then the positive ease is bigger at the rest of your body. So it's still very flattering, but it hangs from your proper frame from your shoulders. So I'm really impressed with the pattern, the fit. I love the fabric that it's knitting up, and it's just been flying along. So my goal has been to knit a skein a week. So I'm hoping this next week I'll be able to finish it up. I'm going to give this a mid-project block just to make sure that the sleeves are where I want them before I start the ribbing. And I do realize I've kind of like knit myself into a corner where now pretty much the only thing left on this project is ribbing. So once I do the block, I'll see where I'm at. But yeah, the sleeves will just need 4 inches of ribbing each, and the body also needs 4 inches of ribbing. So I'm just gonna be doing ribbing on this. After that, the pattern says to knit a separate piece for the button band, and then you seam it on, you sew it on. It's a neat idea, but I think I like the look of a double knit button band better, so I think I'm going to modify it and just do a double knit button band on each side. So yeah, hoping to finish this in the next week or two. That's the plan. My next project I've talked about before, so I'll keep it brief. It's my version of a flowerless pressed flowers cardigan. The pattern's by Cristoffers, who's Savory Knitting. I've knit the flowered version for myself a couple years ago, and I wanted to make a flowerless version for my husband. So this is it here. I'll put it on a hanger. It's actually kind of at the same stage as my other cardigan. So the body is done. Sleeves are mostly done, and then just the button band is left. So yeah, I'm heavily modifying this pattern so that it fits my husband. I'm lengthening it in areas that need lengthening, kind of changing like the length of the V-neck, so the angle is a little bit different. The sleeve drop is deeper to fit him. The sleeves are longer, so the sleeve decreases happen at different places. So yeah, I've just been modifying it as I go, but I'm using the base from the pressed flowers cardigan pattern, and obviously the stitch pattern too. So absolutely loving this like waffle knit texture. It's so nice. I've talked about it before, but I've had like some worries about running out of yarn. I have run out of yarn, so this pattern is just like at a standstill. But thankfully I've gotten a hold of the yarn dyer, Grenouille Co. She got back to me. Her shop has been closed for a while, but she did tell me that she will be opening late winter, early spring, so I will be able to order some more of this dark charcoal gray yarn, and I'll be able to finish the cardigan. I got this far where I knew like I did not want to use a different yarn or color block, or like, yeah, I wanted it to look finished and professional and nice, and so I've been kind of holding out to see if I could hear back from her, and I did. So I'm really glad that I know yarn will be coming to finish this. He won't be able to wear it this winter. Oh well. But yeah, once I get the yarn, I'll try to finish this up and then he can wear it for next fall. My next project is a sewing project and it's also for my husband. I made the Leo jacket. It's a long story, but he tried on this jacket from Filson. It was about like $500 or so for the jacket, but he really liked the style and the fit. So I looked for fabric and a pattern that would be close to that, and then I made this up. So all that's left on that is sewing the buttonholes and then attaching the buttons, and then it's going to be done. I'm so pleased with how it looks. It fits so well on him. The fabric that I'm using is Merchant & Mill's oiled canvas, and it's like this steely blue gray color. And then the pattern that I'm using is the Leo jacket by Fibre Mood. That pattern is kind of just like a jean jacket style. So I took that pattern and I didn't have to modify the fit or anything at all. It fits him perfectly, but I added some extra pockets, and I added the back sort of like tags, these things here, so they can be buttoned up and like cinch in the bottom there. I feel like it just makes it like a little bit more utilitarian looking. And yeah, the pockets that I added are these front pockets here. This is just from the Sylvan jacket pattern by Sew Liberated. I just took one of those pockets and made it a little bigger. This pocket I changed to so that it would be like pencil kind of pockets. This is the pocket from the pattern though. Another modification that I made was I lined it. I wanted it to be a little warmer for him because this is just oiled cotton canvas. So I had a piece of this nice wool that I lined the body with, and I added an inside pocket for him too. He likes to carry his phone right there. And these are my cute little labels that say Designed by So and So. So this and the cardigan are kind of like anniversary presents for him. We celebrated our 15th anniversary last month, so these are both like late gifts for him. But yeah, it's something special for him to wear for hopefully years to come. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you are working on something fun. Let me know in the comments below what you've been knitting or sewing or spinning or crocheting. I love to hear the projects that you've been working on. And if you have the chance, go and check out the Old Salt hat on Ravelry. Even if you're not purchasing the pattern, just searching the pattern, liking it, adding it to your queue, it just helps with exposure so that more people can see the pattern. I really appreciate it. All right, happy knitting, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.